But hello, Chris. How are you?
Good, thank you. Very good. Warm, but okay.
It is very, very warm, especially in just this part of Nuneaton we're in the showroom. Seems to be just like has its own microclimate. I think it's different to the rest of the world. This one part of Nuneaton. Where are you currently?
I'm currently in Coventry, but our workshop's in Napton, so it's very similar climates.
Oh, yeah, but you're not too far from us in Coventry. I think you're only
Yeah.
about 20 minutes or so. Well, thank you for joining the podcast. Today you are representing obviously yourself and Ashford Blake. God, I'm struggling to say words there. I'm on the second coffee today to be like powered up, so I'm probably going to stumble over many words. I guess first things first, who are Ashford Blake? How did it begin?
So Ashford Blake is a bespoke furniture producer. The owners, Ryan and Charlie, have come from a digital world of computing and things like that. Noticed a bit of a hole in the market when they were looking to buy something for themselves. So they said, why not like make a company out of it? I was busy wobbling about, just making things out of wood, and got in touch with us. We combined, and yeah, that's how Ashford Blake started.
You guys do some crazy stuff. And what is your role? What does a day in your working life look to you?
So I'm the workshop manager. I help schedule the plan for each day. Um, I'll send the drivers out in the mornings. We've got two full time drivers and two part time drivers now, so two vans are out on the road. Um, just organising that kind of thing. We have got logistics team now that take a lot of that off me, but and then just general day to day stuff. I'm on the tools a lot. I'll guide my workshop team. Um, I do some of the more like fiddly things and slightly more one off items day to day. But yeah, just general sorting out the timber orders, things like that, keeping the workshop not on fire, basically.
Oh, I what is your favorite tool? If you're on the what's your favorite tool to work with?
um, oh, that's a good
That's a
question.
hard question, so I've thrown you off there.
Yeah, depends what you're doing. I quite like surface planer. It's a lot of machine based stuff for us because the volume we're producing in the region of 40 tables a week currently. So it's it's nailing those processes to get it a smooth system, so I don't really have to worry about that end of things, and then we go down to hand sanding and then oiling right at the end.
I suppose there's two parts to this question because obviously you're running the workshop and then there's Ashford Blake as a whole. So, what's the core philosophy that drives your work and then I guess also drives Ashford Blake's work? Because obviously your involvement in it as well.
Yeah, fine British furniture, basically done well to a high quality. Um, First time, we always try and nail it. So obviously the customer's happy with their product immediately. We try and give a quicker turnaround as well than quite a lot of the bigger companies, and it is like a small team ethic as well. It's we're a little family, the team. Like we all get along with each other. When we interview new people, there's got to be a vibe check. So
Yeah.
that runs into our products. Um, I take pride in every single like meter of timber that goes back out that door finished. So um, yeah, general quality and ownership of our product to be the best, basically.
I think that really comes across in your work. So everything we see on Instagram is just so we can tell kind of the dedication, I think, and the just the time that's gone into it. It's proper fine furniture. And you said then briefly, I was going to ask you, what is the team like behind Ashford Blake? But there's not that many of you then, because people think this takes a whole team, but sometimes it can just take some really, really hard working individuals.
Yeah. So when we began, it was just me, and I showed Ryan and Charlie how to use some of the machines, which was one of the scariest moments. People with no experience whatsoever, putting them on a saw and a planer they were some interesting days.
Yeah.
Um, but everyone gets dug in. Now we've got a few people in the office dealing with logistics and customer service. So there's two, about to be three in there. Um, two full-time drivers, two part-time, and then I've got four full-time lads in the workshop with me now. Um, so the team is growing, but it is still small team um, ethic. Like it's a good group. They all work hard. They all take pride in it. Um, yeah, it's not as big a team as you would expect.
Yeah.
Everyone has their roles and what they're better at. I try and get them good at everything, but I've got a chap on machining that I nicked from a previous place I used to work, and he's happy on the machines all day, every day. Like,
Yeah.
he's a robot and he's excellent at that. So I try and lean on people's strengths because then
Yeah.
you get the best out of them, and they tend to be happier than I don't really like sanding, but I'm better at glue ups. So go and do the glue ups then. If you're happy to stand there all day gluing up, you can. I'm fine with
That's
that.
a
But
good way. That's a good way to be a leader, right? And to play into people's strengths. And I suppose if someone was going to come work under you, say it's a new like apprentice or someone wanting to get in woodworking, what would you look for in that person? Like, what would be the biggest? Yeah, you'd be like, I'll take that on. I'll hire. You're going to be successful.
sounds weird. Experience comes quite low for me.
Yeah.
It's touched on it earlier. General vibe, like your attitude towards working, wanting to. You don't always have to go above and beyond, but just want to do the best you can. Want to learn. Um, have pride in your work and own it. If you mess up, I still mess up. Like if you mess something up, tell me immediately,
Yeah.
and we can go through the process of fixing that issue. Whereas if it gets left, then that causes all kinds of problems later down the line. So, um, yeah, we just take pride in it, have a good attitude, and yeah, listen to guidance, I guess.
No, yeah, listening, I feel like is key with all those big machines around. As a
Yeah,
person that also has, well, has no experience whatsoever in woodworking and has, except in wood finishing, and has been put on a saw. Yeah. So,
yeah,
'cause, yeah, if you're not listening, it ain't gonna end well. And you
no.
guys, I suppose, is it a bit of a split between custom and more like what you guys want to make? Like if someone come to you with a custom project, how does that process work?
So every all of our tables are bespoke sizes to what the customer wants to order. We do have like ballpark sizes on our website of say you want a 2 meter by 1 meter table, like that's kind of bread and butter stuff. But we literally do any size. Like our tabletops are fully bespoke. We do pop ups in them. We can do pretty much any shape you want. We've done weird shapes to fit in wall spaces and things like that. So um, anything from like and bookcases. I want to do more completely one-off standalone pieces of furniture. Um, so basically, ask the question. Ryan and Charlie still deal with day-to-day sales, so they're one of the first port of calls as a customer. So they will throw things at me and go, "This needs to happen." I'm like, "Hang on a minute, like we're going to need tools. I need more time. I need to plan it in the first place." Like, they keep me on the toes with that. They're like, "You're good. You'll figure it out," but it's not that easy sometimes. But we make it happen, and we make it happen to a good quality. So, um, yeah.
It must be quite fun though, because every day must feel different for you. So every day is a different job. Would you say in that time every day is a different day? So you're never really doing the same thing, I guess. Every
So
day in a creative role, or is it?
Yes and no. Like a bit as the workshop manager, my job differs a lot more than the lads on the shop floor.
Yeah.
We make very nice posh rectangles
Yeah.
mainly. So there's different finishes, like different colours and things like that. But it is like the processes are. I've got them quite regimented so that we get the finished product out the same. I'm lucky because I can be that little bit more creative. But as long as everyone's happy, then
And you spoke then, I guess you said everything's basically custom. Is there a project that you've done that you guys have done that stands out, the most memorable and special project?
we've just done a walnut table that was 4.5 meters by 1750 wide, I think. Um, some of the bigger tables are the more memorable ones because the amount of time you spend on them. We've done a 6 meter by 2 meter wide table, but we had to make that in 4 sections and then use a domino connector system on site because it wouldn't have got in the building,
Oh
basically.
my God.
Yeah. Some of the walnuts, even small coffee tables, are my favourite just because of the grain pattern in walnut and the colour variations. And when you put a bit of oil on and then UMO it, it's like it. Yeah, it's my favourite basically. But yeah, the bigger table is probably the most memorable ones.
Yeah, I suppose the bigger, right, the better. It's more wood. It's more everything.
Yeah.
And I may have answered this for me already in that last question, but I was going to say, what is your favorite wood to work with? But I got a sense it might be walnut.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of walnut. Most of our stuff is oak and walnut. Currently, we do cedar stuff as well. So our rustic tables, we do different thicknesses in that. Also use a Roco for outdoor furniture. That's quite nice. I want to branch out and use some more timbers, but
Yeah,
I'm waiting. There will be a day where I do, but it's just having the time to
yeah,
sneak that in as a project. So we will be adding more in the future, I think.
yeah. No, well, it's difficult. I feel if you know a wood well, you know it works well, you're used to it.
Yeah,
It is a risk to jump woods, and walnut is very beautiful as well, isn't it?
yeah,
So
it's very popular as well.
I
So
can imagine. And I suppose is how would you tailor to a client's needs in that sense? Is it a lot of back and forth between you and the customer, or is it more like they give you a brief and then you just go for it, or is it quite a like an open, honest conversation between you and the client?
yeah, pretty open, quite fluid conversation, I believe. Ryan and Charlie have. Most people will come with an idea from what they've seen of our products on the websites.
Yeah,
Um, the lads will also make suggestions, like we've done monitor stands and things like that off the back of people ordering desks and wanting that little extra item. That's normally how we'll add a new product. Somebody will suggest something, we'll make one, and then it ends up in our production after that.
yeah,
Um, so we had a few inquiries about timber legs. All of our legs were used to be steel, um, and I've just started making the timber legs as well to match tables, and they're very popular. So I'm being kept busy making the timber legs. So, but it's
so
nice.
difficult.
It's a nice finish to the table as well. I like the steel. I think it's a smart addition to a nice classic timber top. Um, but it's nice to have more and more products in our range, basically.
Yeah, I suppose the world's kind of moving more into like a natural. Maybe that's why the wood legs is kind of a trend at the minute to have the home just natural.
Yeah, it's going back.
Yeah.
It's going back in the cycle, isn't it? I think people want all timber again, and like the rustics, I didn't think would sell as well as they do, and they absolutely fly out. Yeah, getting that bit of nature back in the home, which I'm not complaining about because we sell tables. So.
Exactly. Give it so more nature. Is
Yeah.
I was just thinking this, this just coming to my head. Is there something a customers come to you with a design and you think, God, that's good, and then you build it for your own house. It's like, I imagine that would happen to me often. I'd be like, that's pretty sick. I'm taking that and I'm gonna build
I've definitely got stuff bouncing around in my head
it.
from the years of people suggesting things, going, actually, you know what, yeah, that'd be lovely to do. If I was making it for home, my partner will vouch that probably never happens
It's
because I've got,
time, right? When have you
yeah,
got the time? I can imagine.
yeah, it's one of those. Got all these lovely ideas and drawings in my brain, but yeah, it never really happens. The customers get all of my inspiration at the moment, so.
What would you? Is there any advice you'd offer to people looking to get into the cabinetry business to be in the position you're in?
Um, don't would be my first question. No, if basically if you have the time or the space, even when I was at college, I used to potter about in my parents' garage or shed and just make little things like phone holders or
Yeah,
just get those creative juices flowing. It's a lot easier now to research things because the likes of YouTube and podcasts and things like that, information is so readily available. Like when I went to college, we had a list of books we had to buy
yeah,
because you couldn't find that information anywhere unless you went to a library. Um, so just try and keep those creative juices flowing and build slowly. Don't expect to be able to go in and do a whole house of wardrobes if you've only built one for your nan's spare room. Like,
yeah.
try, try and build gradually and allow more time than you see others do because you will hit problems, but those problems are a learning curve. So
Yeah,
just soak it up, learn from it, learn how to fix mistakes. A lot of my skills have come from repairing bits of furniture and sorting out mistakes in the past, which I work backwards from basically. So they don't happen again, and you can move forward and create nice items, furniture, or even just knickknacks. That can be fun and help you switch off, and then you can build from there.
oh, I like that. It's good. Some good advice. Learn from mistakes. Everything is a lesson.
Yes, yeah.
I
Every
think
day.
so
That
much.
never changes.
No, exactly. That's just life lessons.
Yeah.
And since you guys joined forces, how have you seen the company evolve? And I suppose the cabinetry business industry as a whole as well. Have you seen the evolution of the company and
So
cabinetry? Am I saying that right? Cabinetry?
cabinetry, yeah, it's almost a tongue twister, isn't it? Um, we've evolved in the way that it began with just me, and I was going to do everything, and Charlie and Ryan were going to deliver. They did quite a few deliveries, and that was one of the first. So 2 weeks into it just being me, I hired Mick on the machines. I was like, like I can't keep up and do everything. I'm not a
Yeah.
one man machine. And then we hired drivers because Ryan and Charlie were like, we can't sit on a van all day. Like driving's a skill in itself. If you can sit in a van for 7 hours of a day and spend an hour out of it delivering tables, I have so much respect for those lads being able to do that.
It's not for
Um,
me.
but yeah, we've grown. We've gone from like just oak to oak and walnut to doing all of our rustic stuff. A much bigger team. Like we're trying to. It's finding the balance of expanding to, but still managing. If that makes sense. So you want a bigger output, but you don't. We don't want to push ourselves too much, but we also want to keep that quality. Um, but then again, as well, technology is helping. There's like big domino machines and stuff like that now. Our new planar thicknesses, stuff like that, are we wouldn't be able to do what we do without those things. Even down to the glues, your products. Like it's every little thing I think has evolved so much over the last few years that makes our lives easier to
Yeah.
make a better product.
Yeah.
But
And do you find, talking of technology, do you find social media has played a role in the business as well? Do you find you get a lot of clients through social media, or is it more word of mouth? Because you guys are
Um,
on Instagram, you're pretty active on Instagram.
yeah, so we try to be. I get shot a lot because I don't take enough photos or progress videos in the workshop.
I do that to
Um,
Ashley all the time.
um, yeah, it's like, oh, we've got this big project coming up. We've just shared the big walnut actually that
Yeah,
we're waiting on final photos of it in the customer's building. But that was a nice thing to show the full project of. We've got a full tree coming all the way down to it's been oiled.
that is
Um,
very cool.
but yeah, so social media does have, I think it's a big influence on quite a lot of companies now. But the main way we get business is word of mouth, our website, things like that. We're quite lucky. We do a lot of big conference tables for
Yeah,
some quite good clients in and around London and all over the country. To be honest, we go countrywide, so people have a meeting and then go back to their office and go, "We had a meeting on a sick table today, so give them a ring." Like, yeah, that's just how it seems to happen. So
nice. So your way of attracting new clients, I guess, is just by making really, really good furniture that people are envious of.
yeah, yeah. We've had friends of people that have bought dining tables come to us, things like that. So it's trying to be a market leader and be the best at what we do that we can, and then that naturally feeds more customers, I think.
Yeah, I think you guys do that really, really, really well. And what are your goals, I guess, as workshop manager? And for Ashford Blake, what are the goals for the next few years? I hate saying that question as well. I feel bad because it's like when you were at school or college and people said, well, what are you going to do in 5 years? Like, what's next? And you're like, please shut up. Just leave me alone.
No idea what I'm doing next week. Um, our goal, basically, yeah, market leading.
Yeah.
Ireland, Charlie will both say world domination. Like that's
Yeah.
they have such a drive. It's infectious their drive to make this
Yeah.
work and have good products. Keep growing. Um, yeah, there's such a driving force behind us. I personally would like to do more completely bespoke, wild stuff that I've been bouncing around in my head.
Yeah.
But we also need it to be a product we can produce multiple of because that's what we do.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I would like some standalone pieces. We're going to introduce more products into our range. Um, just drip feed them when we can, and then
Yeah.
keep introducing, give people more of a choice, but still our quality and our brand.
I think it's so. I think I can see, definitely from my perspective, when a company, yeah, is being driven and it's passionate, and I think you guys just come across like that, especially online. I think you can just tell, yeah, when people are driven and focused and want more. So it's good.
Yeah.
And do you see the industry of fine furniture making, evolving, changing? What do you think the future holds for the old fine furniture business?
I definitely think is involving, evolving because of the technology behind it. So you've got like the shaper routers, the CNC stuff. We don't use any of that really. It's all still just done by hand on your standard machines.
Yeah,
Um, but having that as an opportunity to use, I think is game changing with a lot of things. There's so many different fixings and stuff now for like your wardrobes and kitchen based work, spray finishes, your oil finishing. Um, like I did 5, 10 years ago, I never thought I'd put oil on a table with a car buffer, but I do. Like we use car polishers that we get. They're not horrendously expensive, but they get absolutely battered, so they're easy to replace. Using your buffing pads, it's an absolute game changer. So again, that's a form of technology you don't think of. It's not just a rag anymore. It's like your buffing pads. Um,
the same stuff that buffs cars.
yeah, yeah. but yeah, it's technology is great and it is evolving. But I like one thing I like about woodwork and cabinetry is everything still comes from that basic, like man with an axe with a tree. I need to make something that has a purpose.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, growing up, one thing everyone, like my parents said, everyone will always need a table,
Yeah.
or a bench or something to sit on, or yeah. So that was one of the reasons I got into it, and I like the fact that even using technology and it's evolving, it's still kind of got one toe in the past, if that makes
Yeah.
sense.
Oh, I like that. Everyone will need a table. It's true. I enjoy that very much. I suppose we spoke about, well, in 5 years, but what's next right now? What's the project you've got going on now, or the next one coming up?
um, Probably looking at adding different timbers.
Yeah.
I would like to look at some, um, yeah, some slightly different dining table systems and things like that in the run up to Christmas. Um, Work on a bigger range of the timber legs. I think that's my next big thing is, um, yeah, the timber legs, getting them into a more like bespoke manufacturing system instead of me and a bit of MDF and my brain shouting at itself because why is it taking me so long to make one set of legs? Um, so yeah, nailing that process like I have the others, I think. So our wooden legs are repeatable to our standard quality, I think.
Amazing. I imagine Christmas is going to be a very busy time leading up to that.
Yeah.
People want Christmas tables galore, I can
Yeah.
imagine.
Everyone forgets until I think mid to late November. What we learnt last year was, oh, we need a table for Christmas, and we're 3 to 6 weeks. I think is our average. I'll probably get shot for saying that, but yeah, when we've got a schedule in a delivery for before Christmas, and somebody decides at the end of November they want a table. Um, a lot of people will do anything to get said table, but it's
Yeah.
our capacity at the end of the day. So um, there's only so many hours I can be in the workshop without keeling
Yeah.
over, and that'll happen a lot. I think again November, December. So
Right. Yeah. Well, I would say good luck. I don't know if that's my best wishes.
thank you.
Chris, thank you so much. I can appreciate that you are super, super busy. So thank you for taking the time to speak to us, all your tips, the story behind Ashford Blake and what the future holds for it. So it's just been really, really lovely to catch up.
No, thank you for your time. I've enjoyed it.
Thank you, Chris. And then you have to let us know how bad Christmas gets.
We will. You'll probably see. Ash will see from our orders. I think. I'll be WhatsApping and going. I'm running out. Quick, get me something. So
We'll prepare our side as well. I think it's probably best. But thank you so much, Chris.
no problem. Thank
Thank
you for your time.